Alright guys, this is Tom from Everyday Gamers. This is a part 3 of my DS collection. Next game in my collection is WarioWare Touched. Fortunately, I was able to pick this game up a few years after it actually came out, and it was a game that I always kind of wanted to get. I just didn't have a DS right when this first came out, and I kind of let it slip by me. So I would say that it's obviously a harder game to find now. But if you're persistent and you look, you could pick it up at a GameStop or something like that. It's still going to run you probably around $35, roughly. But a lot of just mini games, a lot of really fun mini games. Not incredibly difficult, but it's enough to really, I would say, invest the money in. And especially if you're a collector, you'll want to get this game anyways. Next game is Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. I remember finding out about this game after I purchased the DS and searching for it for a while, and then it did eventually get a reprint, but it was out of print for so long, and then eventually I did come across it and I picked it up as soon as I found it, and it's just a really fun game. This originally did come out on the Game Boy Advance in Japan, but obviously you guys are well familiar with the Phoenix Wright series. I do need to pick up the other, I guess there's 3 more in the series now that I do need to pick up, but a lot of fun, Next game is another Atlus title, and probably one of the most original games that they have, and it's Trauma Center Under the Knife. This is one of the games that I purchased the DS for, and unfortunately, because I was late to the party, I had a hard time trying to find this game as well. But just a lot of fun. I mean, as far as, the way you perform different things with the stylus and the touchscreen, and really, really cool game. Definitely a game that, if it's still, I don't know how easily available it is, or how, accessible, or how easy it is to find this game. But if you can find it, I would pick it up and try it out. But it is kind of difficult to play. Another Atlus game, Tokyo Beatdown. This is, kind of like a classic 2D side-scrolling beat-em-up. It's a newer game. It came out within the last month, and I would say it's something like, I would compare it to like a Double Dragon. The story's kind of quirky. It's a little bit, I don't know, the writing's a little funny, but it's just, I think it's a fun game. I like it a lot. Of course, I am, a big fan of Atlus, but I would say if you like the Double Dragon style games, this is a game that you might want to check out. The next, I guess we'll say this is the next series of games, is the Castlevania games, but I got Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow, Portrait of Ruin, and Order of Ecclesia. Big fan of the Castlevania series on the DS. I think that it's probably one of the best series on the DS. I'm still making my way through this one, which is the first one. So I can't say anything about the other two, but as far as, this one's concerned, it's one of my favorite DS games, and I've heard nothing but good things about the other two in the series, so I would certainly recommend picking it up. I mean, the Castlevania series stands on its own. Not much needs to be said about it, so you guys know the deal with this. So I showed you those 3 Castlevania games. The next game is Kirby Superstar Ultra. I actually just have my original game, or the download that I had of this game on my R4 card, so I haven't actually opened up this copy. But this is a remake of I believe it was the Super Nintendo Kirby Superstar. Just a lot of mini games, a lot of fun, some platforming involved in this. It's definitely a good game, definitely one worth picking up if you're a fan of Kirby games. The Kirby games have always been a lot of fun, especially the ones on the DS and the way they implement the touchscreen controls. So certainly a game worth picking up if you like Kirby. Next is Sonic Rush. Just picked this up, haven't even played it. I did play it a few years back. When I worked at GameStop, I actually popped it in my DS for a little while and messed around with it. So I can tell you that it's a lot like the older 16-bit Sonic games. I don't know if I said the title, Sonic Rush, But you know, you could pick this up for like $15, $20, something like that. And if you're a fan of the older Sonic games, definitely worth it. It's a little bit more difficult, you know, on the smaller screen with the, you know, amount of speed that goes into a Sonic game to keep track of Sonic. But this is really a really good game for anybody who is a fan of the traditional Sonic games and the traditional Sega Genesis Sonic games. And I guess the last one in my collection is Arkanoid DS. This is the only import game that I own. And the reason why I imported this game as opposed to buying the US version is because, and as you can see, it comes in this big box, but it came with the little tiny paddle that you plug into the GBA card or the GBA slot on the bottom of the DS Lite and original DS. Now obviously the DSi doesn't have that slot, but you know, just a really good way to actually maneuver the little tiny paddle on the bottom, and a lot of fun. And it's just a game that I had to pick up when I found out that they weren't going to be releasing the paddle over here in the US. I immediately went and ordered this. I think on PlayAsia, ordered the whole bundle so I could get, you know, the one that had, you know, the little tiny paddle. And don't ask me why they never released it that way over here in the States. I think it's something that would have sold pretty decently over here, but unfortunately they didn't. They never did release one over here like this. So if you're looking for this, I believe you can buy the paddle separately. I just decided to buy the entire bundle. I think it cost me like $45, and it does have Wi-Fi compatibility. I've never messed around with that on this game, but I can say that it's a lot of fun, and it's a really not necessarily unique, but it's a cool interface and a cool way to play the game. I don't know that I would necessarily play it any other way than with that little tiny paddle, so that's why I picked it up like that. But anyways, guys, that was my DS collection. If there's any games that you've seen in here that you would like me to review or that you want more information on, feel free to comment, let me know, send me a message, PM, and I can certainly do that on any of these games. If you have any other questions at all, feel free to let me know. Anything you guys want to see me do in particular, just always, you know, let me know. And please rate, subscribe. Make sure you check out everydaygamers.com. And that's it, guys. If you just saw this video, make sure you go back and check out the first two. This is the third in the three-part series. So anyways, thanks for checking this out, guys. I'll show you really quick before we go. This is my, obviously, the Triforce Zelda, the way that was all packaged up. And then, as you can see, my blue DSi. I did keep my DS Lite just because you still have the GBA cards, or the GBA cart, whatever it is, the slot on the bottom, and you don't have that on the DSi. So I'm still actually using my DS Lite. And I would say, for anybody who's looking to pick up a DSi, still keep your DS Lite, just because I don't know, if you're like me at least, you're gonna want to have that in a few years. You're gonna regret trading that in. Anyways, guys, that's it. Once again, it's Tom from everydaygamers.com. Thanks for checking this out.